Hello, sports fans and enthusiasts. Welcome back to Campus Chronicles Beyond the Game. I'm your host, Brian Post, and today we're diving into what many call the most intense rivalry in all of college sports, the Tobacco Road Rivalry between Duke and North Carolina. These two powerhouse programs have been battling it out for over a century, and every time they meet, it is more than just a basketball game. It's a battle for supremacy. Whether you're a fan of the Blue Devils or the Tar Heels, there's no denying the impact this rivalry has on college basketball, its fans, and the sports culture. Today, we'll look at the history, the unforgettable moments, and why this rivalry stands head and shoulders above the rest. The Tobacco Road Rivalry didn't become a spectacle overnight. Its roots go back to the early 1920s, when Duke and North Carolina first squared off on the basketball court. The proximity of these two schools, just 8 miles apart, added fuel to a competitive fire that would grow into one of the fiercest rivalries in all of sports. Duke and North Carolina have always been basketball schools, but it wasn't until the 1960s and 70s, with the rise of legendary coaches Dean Smith at UNC and Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, that the rivalry truly began to take on mythical proportions. These two coaches built programs that were not only successful, but iconic, creating a back-and-forth battle that's continued for decades. From that point on, every meeting between these two teams became a must-watch event, with national implications, passionate fans, and players who often saw these games as the biggest of their careers. The rivalry transcended basketball. It became a way of life for anyone associated with Duke or UNC. In this episode, we'll explore how the Tobacco Road Rivalry has evolved over the years, and how it went from a local competition to a national spectacle. We'll break down the key moments that have defined the rivalry, from buzzer beaters to championship runs, and how each program's success has shaped the other. What makes the Tobacco Road Rivalry even more special is the setting. Two of the most iconic arenas in college basketball. On one side, you've got Cameron Indoor Stadium, home of the Duke Blue Devils. It's small, it's intimate, and the Cameron Crazies make it one of the toughest places to play in all of sports. Then there's the Dean Smith Center, the home court of the Tar Heels. It's much larger, seating over 20,000 fans, but it's no less intense. When the Tar Heels pack the house, it's a sea of blue and white, and the atmosphere is absolutely electric. What makes this rivalry unique is how much each game feels different depending on where it's played. At Cameron, you've got the tight quarters, the crazies breathing down the neck of the visiting team. At the Dean Smith Center, it's all about overwhelming size and noise that comes with a larger crowd. but arenas have their own flavor, and both are crucial to the identity of the rivalry. We'll dive into how the home court advantage impacts each game and why the atmosphere in these arenas adds another layer to the rivalry, and how players feel about playing in such historic venues. It's not just about the basketball. It's about the setting, the energy, and the stakes. Over the years, the Tobacco Road Rivalry has delivered some of the most memorable moments in college basketball history. Whether it's buzzer beaters, improbable comebacks, or heated confrontations, this rivalry has seen it all. One of the most iconic moments came in 1984 when Michael Jordan, then a junior at North Carolina, hit a game-winning shot against Duke that solidified his legacy as a Tar Heel and future basketball legend. And then there's the infamous 1992 game at Cameron, where Christian Laettner's last-second shot sent Duke to victory in one of the most thrilling games in rivalry history. It's not just the buzzer beaters that make this rivalry special. It's the intensity of the competition. Every loose ball, every foul, and every possession feels like it could change the game. The players know that they're not just playing for a win. They're playing for bragging rights, for history, and for their school's honor. We'll break down some of the greatest games in this rivalry's history, the players who made their mark, and the moments that still get talked about years later. This is more than just basketball. These are the moments that have shaped the legacy of Duke and North Carolina basketball. For the players, this rivalry is often the highlight of their college careers. Whether you're a Blue Devil or a Tar Heel, playing in this game means you're part of something much bigger than yourself. The intensity, the pressure, and the stakes are higher than any other game during the regular season. We've seen future NBA stars come through this rivalry. Players like Michael Jordan, Grant Hill, Vince Carter, and Zion Williamson, each of them leaving their mark on the Duke-UNC series. These players have all said that nothing compares to the pressure of playing in a Duke-UNC game. This isn't just a game. It's a defining moment in their careers. And for many players, their performances in the Tobacco Road Rivalry are remembered long after they moved on from college basketball. But no rivalry is complete without its fans. And the Tobacco Road Rivalry has some of the most passionate fans in all of sports. Whether it's the Cameron Crazies at Duke or the Tar Heel faithful at the Dean Smith Center, the fans are what make this rivalry so intense. For Duke and North Carolina fans, these games are more than just matchups. They're cultural events. The rivalry divides families, friends, and even entire communities. The build-up to each game is filled with anticipation, and the outcome of a single game can define a season. As we look to the future, one thing is clear. The Tobacco Road Rivalry isn't going anywhere. Even with the retirement of legendary coaches like Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski, the rivalry continues to thrive. New generations of players and coaches will continue to write the next chapter in this storied rivalry, and the passion of the fans will only grow stronger. This rivalry isn't just about the past. It's about the future of college basketball and the enduring legacy of two of the sport's greatest programs. As the final buzzer sounds and another chapter in the Tobacco Road Rivalry is written, one thing is clear. This is more than just a basketball game. It's a clash of titans, a battle of tradition, and a moment that will live on in the hearts of fans for generations to come. The Tobacco Road Rivalry is college basketball at its finest, and it will continue to define what makes this sport so special. That's all for today's episode of Campus Chronicles Beyond the Game. I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the Tobacco Road Rivalry between Duke and North Carolina. If you loved this episode, don't forget to follow, like, and share the podcast on your favorite platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Audible, so you'll never miss an episode again. Be sure to tune in for our upcoming football podcast, episode number 11, Bevo and Smokey, where we'll explore the historic rivalry between Texas and Tennessee. And for you basketball fans, get ready for episode number 6, the Old Oaken Bucket of Hoops, where Purdue and Indiana battle for basketball supremacy. I'm Brian Post, and until next time, keep the rivalry alive, basketball fans. Campus Chronicles Beyond the Game is a JourneyWise Studios production.